Let's examine the differences between instancing pipelines and instancing modifiers. I'll select this cone, and you can see in the stack that it has a bend modifier applied to it. I'll go ahead and clone the object by holding down the Shift key and dragging it over to the side. I'll make an instance clone. Now you learned earlier that instances share the same set of parameters. But this modifier is now part of an instanced pipeline. The tip-off is that it appears in bold. That means that the parameters for that modifier are shared among all of the instance clones. It doesn't matter which instance we select. They all appear in boldface type. Now I'll select this teapot. The stack shows that it has a taper modifier assigned to it. And right now it appears in plain face type, indicating that it's a unique object with a unique modifier. Now I'd like to instance this modifier onto one of the cones. I'll do that by holding down the Control key and dragging the modifier onto the cone. You can also do that by, I'll undo and show you the other way before we get ahead of ourselves, and that is you can right click on a modifier and choose Copy. Then you can go to your destination, right click and choose Paste Instanced. It appears in bold and italic type. The bold means that it's still part of an instanced pipeline, and the italic means that it's an instanced modifier. So if I make adjustments to this taper modifier now, it's going to affect all three objects. If I select the teapot, you'll see that its modifier now appears in italic text, but not bold. And that indicates that it's an instanced modifier, but it's not part of an instanced pipeline. That means that the changes that I make to this modifier are shared elsewhere. Now watch what happens if I go back to one of these cones and click the Make Unique button. If I do that, the taper modifier loses its italic text, indicating that it's no longer an instanced modifier. It is, however, still bold, meaning that it's part of an instanced pipeline, and thus shared among all of the instance clones. If I click Make Unique a second time, this object gets a unique set of parameters, including its object space modifiers. Now we can make changes and be confident that they affect this object alone. So pay attention to the typography of the stack to help you understand what's going on. And be aware that you can instance modifiers to be more efficient so that you can control multiple objects with a single modifier.